This is The Clash Over South Africa by Yolanda Chen, Sydney Lee, Yasmin Ferman, and Alyssa Nunez in plain English. Three main powers clashed over control of South Africa. These powers, the Dutch, the British, and the Africans, had been in dispute for about 100 years. The Dutch were the first people to settle in South Africa in 1652, in the Cape of Good Hope. These settlers became known as Boers, or Dutch for farmers, and they slowly took over the native Africans' land and created large farms. In the late 1700s to the late 1800s, multiple local wars occurred in South Africa. Shaka, the chief of the Zulu people, used highly disciplined warriors and good military organization to make a large, centralized state around 1816. However, his successors were not as skilled, and the Zulu land fell to the British in 1887. The British continued their seizure of South African lands, and when they took over the Cape Colony in the 1800s, the Boers and the British fought over British policies about land and slaves. Several thousand Boers began to move north in the 1830s to escape the British on a movement known as the Great Trek. However, the Boers eventually found themselves fighting with the Zulu and other Africans whose land they took over. When diamonds and gold were discovered in South Africa in the 1860s and 1880s, people from all over the world came to strike it rich. The Boers attempted to stop these people from gaining their political rights and blamed the British for what happened. In 1899, the Boer War began. This war between the Boers and the British was the first modern total war. The Boers used commando raids and guerrilla tactics, so the British retaliated by burning Boer farms and seizing their women and children and putting them in disease-ridden concentration camps. Britain won the war, and in 1902, the Boers joined the self-governing Union of South Africa that was controlled by the British. The establishing of these colonies changed the way of life for Africans forever, as the Europeans made an active effort to change every aspect, whether it be political, social, or economic, of the lives of the people they conquered. The end.